All right, this is Module 6, Lesson 5 for 7th grade on identical triangles. So we're going to use those vocabulary words that we've been working on in class and kind of put them in the form of now putting them into triangles and how angles relate to triangles. So we have some words here that we are going to use to fill in these blanks here. We have the word between, adjacent to, opposite to, and side and angles. Okay, so the first one says angle A is blank sides of AB and AC. So when they write angle A, they're talking about this angle right here. Let me make that a little smaller. Try that again, just so it's not so big. All right, this is angle A. Now, when they say AB and they have this little line on top, they're talking about this area right here. Okay, if they're talking about AC, they're talking about this. So you can see that these two sides created this angle. Okay, there's several angles in a triangle, but this particular angle was created by the side AB and the side AC. So we're going to use the word between. Angle A is between those two sides. So the word from up above we're going to use is between. All right, then we have angle B. Angle B is blank side of AB and BC. So let's find angle B. It's going to be right there. All right, it is between AB and BC. All right, so angle B is what to side AB? Oh, it is BC. Sorry. I was looking down here all of a sudden at angle C. So what is this one? This one's going to be adjacent to, means they share the same side. These ones shared a side, so this is adjacent to. All right, next one. Side AB, so we're doing this one again, is blank to angle C. All right, well, angle C is way over here. AB has nothing to do with angle C. It doesn't touch it. It doesn't create the angle. But what it is it's directly opposite of it. So we're going to say opposite to. Now, side blank is included inside of angle B and angle C. All right, so I'm going to erase my drawings real quick here, just so we can do these angle measurements now. So let me read that again. Side blank is included for the side of angle B and for angle C. So what side do they both have? They both share this side right here. They need that side in order to create their angle. So we're going to say line BC. Actually, line segment BC. All right. Next one. Says angle blank is opposite of AC. So find AC. Which angle is completely opposite of it? It doesn't touch it. It doesn't get formed by it. That would be angle B. So we're going to put B here. All right, let me scroll this up. I'm going to first erase that real quick so we can highlight for the next problem. And I'm going to scroll this up real quick. All right, 6. Side AB is between two different angles. So side AB is between what two angles? Well, what two angles touch AB? That would be angle A and angle B. And then the last one here, what is the included angle for sides AB and BC? All right, so let me grab another color here. We have side AB and side BC. What angle is formed when I made those two connections? It was angle B. So again, using that vocabulary will definitely help you in this geometry unit. So the faster you get more at ease with the vocabulary, a little bit easier this will all become. All right, so let's go to the next side here. So what we're saying here is we have these two triangles up above here, triangle ABC and triangle XYZ. And we have to think of all the possible correspondent matches that we can come up with. So if you look here, they said A and X. So A and X are in the same sort of location. They're corresponding to each other. We can say B and Y. We can say C and Z. So basically this triangle is the same as this triangle, except for this one's standing up. So it kind of rotated, if you want to think of it that way. So what we're looking for is what are all the possibilities? Could I keep rotating this? Could I keep moving it around to make more possibilities? So we're going to create another set of corresponding sides and angles. So I'm going to start by saying A, B, C, just like what they did. I'm mimicking what they did over here. They have A, B, C, and then they have X, Y, Z. All right. Now, I don't want to complete the pattern that they've already used. So what I want to do is find something they haven't said. So they've said A to X, A to Y, A to X, A to Y. So what was one they have not done? They have not, let me change my colors. They have not done an A to Z. All right, now let's look at B. B to Y, B to X, B to Z, B to Z. All right, well, two of them repeated. So the next option we could do is another B to Y. Now let's try our C's. We have C to Z, C to Z, C to Y, and C to X. So again, that one also repeated. So the only one option left here is C to X. Now I'm going to do this again one more time. All right, so if you kind of look, we have two A to X's. We have two A to Y's. I now have one A to Z. So what's left? Another A to Z. You want two pairs of each because they're correspondings. All right, now let's look at the B's. I'm going to switch up colors here just to make it a little easier. I have a B to Y, and I have a B to Y over here. I have a B to Z, and I have a B to X, and I have a B to Z. So what's the other option we don't have? We need another B to X. And that gives me my second pair. All right, let's look at the next one. I have a C to Z, a C to Z, a C to Y, and a C to X. Well, over here, I had a C to X. So what's the one that's still missing? A C to Y. Now, again, you could have flipped these two. It didn't really matter that I did these ones before these. You just wanted two pairs of each because these can all be flipped, rotated, and transformed, and they would still be corresponding sides or angles, okay? Now let's look down at the actual triangles themselves. So I'm going to clear this so I can kind of move it up a little bit. Now we're going to compare the triangles themselves. And this is how we write triangles. We write triangle ABC is to what? Triangle XYZ. This means corresponding, which means they are the same. So they're the same length, same angle measures. They're just laying in two different directions. So I'm going to create one more pattern, actually two more patterns. Okay, so they have angle ABC, XYZ. All right. Down here they have ABC, YXZ. All right. Over here they have ABC and XZY. And then they have ABC, YZX. None of them started with what letter? We have X, we have Y, X, Y. So none of the combinations started with Z. So we're going to go ABC on both. We're going to keep that going. Is going to correspond. Now I'm going to start with Z. What if I said Z, Y, X and Z, X, Y? So you're just kind of scrambling this up, finding other patterns that could work. All right, down here, we have different vertexes, angles, and sides. So let's look at the vertexes. That's what we were doing up above. We can say A to Y, we can say B to X, and C to Z. And that's just looking at that very first set of patterns up above. Let me show you. I'm going to scroll it back up here. What was I looking at? I was looking right here. Okay? So I'm just mimicking that. Let me scroll it back down. All right. Whoop. Try and get it a little bit closer. There we go. Now let's look at angles. I have angle A to angle Y. All right, let's mimic this. If I have angle B, then I have angle X. If I have angle C, then I have angle Z. Now let's create our lines. We had line AB corresponds with YX. BC corresponds with, well, what was I using for B? I was using X. And then what was I using for C? I was using Z. So I'm going to say line X, Z, because B and then the C. Now over here I have C and then I have A. So my C is Z. And what was the letter I was using for A? Y. There you go. It's just kind of an easier way to look at the pattern if you're drawing a complete blank going, I don't know which one to pick. Well, if this was AB, what letter was I using for A? Y. B, I was using X. That's why it's Y then X. You're just kind of continuing that pattern. All right. Now let's go on to the next page. Given the following triangle correspondences, use double arrows to show the correspondence between vertexes or vertices, angles, and sides. So, just a reminder, a vertex is the point where the two lines come together. So that's vertex A, vertex B, vertex C, S, T, and R. So which ones correspond? Okay, well, I have vertex A here. Which one is in that same location? I can look real quick. Both these triangles look like they're laying exactly the same. So I don't have to worry about one being flipped or rotated. So this one's a little easier. I can say vertex A corresponds with vertex S. And that's what we're going to say. A to S. All right, what's my other correspondence? I can say B corresponds to T. So B to T. And then obviously C corresponds with R. Now how about angles? Well, if the vertexes correspond, then the angles are going to be the same corresponding angles. So that means angle A corresponds with angle S. And so we're going to say angle A corresponds with angle S. And then we had B. Angle B is going to correspond with angle T. And then we're going to have angle C corresponds with angle R. Now, what about the sides? All right, so let's talk about sides. What sides match? Well, I can say side AB corresponds with side ST. So we're going to say AB corresponds with ST. All right, what about for B? We can say BC corresponds with TR. And you want to make sure you put your little line segments up above these. And then finally, we have CA corresponds with RS. And that's it. You're just identifying the correspondings. All right. This one down here is just kind of showing you a figure of a triangle that they have rotated. So there's really no math really to do on this. It's just a kind of a set of notes. But the one thing I do want to point out to you are these little guys. These are called tack marks. Tack marks are an easy way to find out if the image has changed. Sometimes they'll use these tack marks, and what they do is they tell you which sides they are equal to. So you can see here AC is equal to DE. Well, AC is equal to DE, and they both have 2 tack marks. But it's also equal to EF. Now, what does that mean? That means that all 3 of these have the same length measurement or ratio. And then we have angle B is equal to angle E. And that's because of the location of those 2 sides. All right. So just kind of keep in mind, you can use tack marks to kind of help you to see if the image got bigger, smaller, rotated, flipped, all those things. So sometimes they'll draw those for us to make it a little easier. All right. So let's go on to example 2. Whoops, a little too high. All right, example 2 says 2 identical triangles are shown below. Give a triangle correspondence that matches the equal sides and equal angles. So again, here's where these tack marks come in. Now this one's nice because I don't have 3 that are all corresponding. You can see that this one tack mark matches that one tack mark, which means whatever the length of CB is, that's the same length as RS, which means this image has flipped up and then turned that way. So it's been stood up and then flipped around, okay? Then you can see I have 2 here, 2 tack marks here. That one matches this one over here. And then I have 3 tack marks here. And that means these guys are equal. So maybe now you can kind of see if you matched up the colors, you can kind of rotate the image in your brain. You can see that it's been turned a little bit. So how can I say how these are identical? And the order you put these letters in is important. So if I say A, B, C, okay, A, B, C corresponds to triangle. Now, what direction did I go in? I went down the 2, up the 1, and down the 3. All right. So I'm going to do that too. That means S, T, R. Okay, let me do it in maybe a different color here. Let me see. Color I haven't used. Let's use black. So notice this. I went A, B, and then C. I went in these directions. So I have to mimic that over here, even though it's been turned. So which side do I start on? I'm going to start on the 2 tack mark side. So from the 2 tack mark side, I'm going to say S to T, and then T to R. So it's going to be triangle S, T, R. And then you can kind of imagine it went back that way. So we're going to say S, T, R. Now this one says I want you to sketch 2 triangles that are corresponding. So you're basically going to kind of mimic something up here. All right. Describe your symbols. Symbols are these tack marks, and words. Words are these. Okay. It says have your partner check, but if you're watching this at home, just have a family member check, I guess. So go ahead and pause the video so you can sketch your 2 triangles. And then that concludes this video tutorial.